Chosen one, this moment is not random. You were not scrolling mindlessly when you found this message. You were called. Heaven has interrupted your ordinary rhythm because a divine appointment has arrived, scheduled long before you took your first breath. This is not just a coincidence, it's a sacred summons. Right now, all of heaven is reaching toward you with a specific word, tailored for your path, your pain, your purpose. There is a provision already set aside with your name on it, a breakthrough so precise it can only be released when you fully receive this word. But listen closely. If you turn away before this message ends, you may walk past the very door you've been crying out for in prayer. You might miss the exact word that could alter your next season, shift your atmosphere, and release you from cycles that have held you captive. This is more than a message, this is a holy encounter, and something deep inside you already knows it. That warmth rising in your chest, that sudden stillness, that internal tuge, it's not emotion, it's confirmation. Chosen one, you are not reading this alone. The spiritual realm has aligned this moment to speak directly into your situation. But you must stay with it. Your attention is the key. If the enemy can distract you now, he will delay what God intended to deliver immediately. But if you remain, if you listen with your spirit wide open, the very thing you thought was impossible could become reality. You are not here to be inspired. You are here to be transformed. If this word is stirring your spirit, don't scroll past your miracle. Type 777 in the comments as your divine agreement. Let heaven see your response. Let darkness see your stand. This isn't just encouragement, it's alignment. Chosen one, this is not just an invitation, it is a warning. The warfare you've been enduring isn't just emotional or circumstantial, it's spiritual. The financial struggles, the conflict in your household, the tension in your inner world, none of it is random. These are not coincidences. These are coordinated attacks designed to weaken your spirit, distract your focus, and keep you from receiving what God has already prepared. And the enemy is desperate. He knows that if you truly hear what's being spoken right now, everything will change. That's why the resistance has been so intense. That's why you've been feeling spiritually heavy, emotionally worn, and mentally exhausted. As C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, the safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts. This warning illuminates the enemy's strategy against you. The subtle, relentless pressures you've faced, financial strain, household tension, inner turmoilary attempts to lull you into accepting suffering as normal, leading you down a gradual path of spiritual defeat. Lewis's insight urges you to recognize these attacks as warfare, awakening your resolve to fight back with faith before the breakthrough is delayed further. But hear this. The grip of the enemy is breaking. Right now, the chains are loosening. You're not imagining it, there is a shift happening in the spirit, and this message is the catalyst. God is calling you out of difficulty, out of confusion, and into clarity, power, and peace. But you must understand what's really going on. This is not just about bad luck or misalignment. This is about warfare. And if you don't recognize it as warfare, you won't fight back. You'll accept suffering as normal. You'll tolerate delay as fate. You'll mistake silence for abandonment. But the truth is, the one who opposes you has been trying to silence your breakthrough at the gate. Chosen one, you've wondered why doors seem to open for others but remain closed to you. You've prayed with sincerity, fasted in secret, served others faithfully, yet something always interferes. That interference isn't a coincidence, it's a spiritual contention. And right now, the enemy is terrified, because the words you're reading are unlocking what he's been trying to keep sealed. The change you've cried out for is already being activated, but only if you stay awake in this moment and believe. Do not drift. Do not doubt. This is not the time to grow passive. This is the time to stand firm, to tune your ears, and to know that what you are hearing has been delivered to you by divine order. In letters to Malcolm, chiefly on prayer, C.S. Lewis wrote, We may ignore, but we can nowhere evade, the presence of God. The world is crowded with him. He walks everywhere incognito. This truth speaks to the divine clarity breaking through your struggles. The interference you faced is not a sign of God's absence, but of his incognito presence, orchestrating this message to awaken you to the spiritual battle. Lewis's words urge you to stay alert, recognizing that this divine warning is God's intervention, calling you to stand firm and receive the breakthrough already in motion. God is not offering you help later. He is offering deliverance now. Your obedience in these next few moments, your willingness to believe and respond, will determine whether you step into divine release or circle the same struggles again. The breakthrough is here. It's moving, but it will not force itself on you. You must choose to receive it, and your faith is that choice. Chosen one. The battle you're in right now goes far beyond what your eyes can see. You are not just facing random resistance, you are being targeted. The reason it feels like your path has been blocked, like everyone else moves forward while you stay stuck, is because your life carries weight in the spiritual realm. You have been marked for impact. Hell knows your name. That's why there has been relentless pressure, especially in the areas of your provision, your peace, and your relationships. Every delay, every closed door, every missed opportunity has been a strategic attempt to wear you down and make you quit, and yet you haven't. You're still here. You're still reading. You're still reaching. And that alone is proof that the enemy has failed to destroy what God has sealed inside of you. But understand this. The warfare didn't come because you were weak. It came because you are chosen. You are carrying something sacred. You are the carrier of a divine assignment that threatens the enemy's agenda. That's why the attacks weren't vague, they were personal. The enemy studied you. He went after your heart, your mind, your sense of identity. He tried to convince you that nothing would change, that the pain would last forever, that your prayers were useless. He tried to use your own thoughts against you. Why? Because if he couldn't destroy you outright, he hoped to distract you long enough for the door of breakthrough to close. But that door is still open, and this message is your sign. Chosen one, the shift has already begun. The spiritual realm is moving. Provision is being rerouted. Restoration is being scheduled. But there's something you must do. Stay engaged. Do not fall asleep at this hour. The enemy is hoping you'll get tired, scroll away, and brush this off. Don't. This is not inspiration. This is war. Your faith must become your weapon now. In Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis wrote, "It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg." This metaphor captures the urgency of your response to this moment. The delays and struggles you've endured are the cracking of the shell, preparing you to emerge into your divine assignment. Lewis's words urge you to shed passivity and doubt, embracing the transformation required to step into the breakthrough God has prepared, lest you remain trapped in the shell of old struggles. What God has ordained for you cannot be stopped, but it can be missed if you choose doubt over action, fear over trust, or hesitation over obedience. Heaven is inviting you to recognize the invisible battle and take your place in victory. This message is not to entertain your emotions, it's here to activate your deliverance. Stay in position, stay awake, stay ready, the gates are opening. Chosen one, you need to hear this clearly. What you've been praying for is not far away. It's already been prepared, it's already moving. Divine provision has been set in motion for you, not later, not someday, but right now. The timing is already unfolding, and the only thing that can delay it now is your disbelief. This is a moment where faith must rise, where belief must become action. Because heaven is waiting not to decide whether you're worthy but to see if you're willing. You've asked, why does it feel like every time I get close, something snatches it away? The answer is not that you're cursed or forgotten or unqualified. It's that spiritual resistance meets every divine release. The enemy knows exactly what happens when you finally step into alignment. He knows that the moment you believe fully, things begin to manifest. So he whispers doubt. He stirs distraction. He makes you think this message is just a coincidence, or too emotional, or not really for you. But he's terrified. Because if you say yes, if you believe without flinching, your life is going to shift. Chosen one, this is not about hype. This is about inheritance. You are on the edge of divine release, but it cannot be claimed passively. God is not looking for perfection, he's looking for participation. You must agree, you must engage, you must act. Heaven is already moving on your behalf, but this moment requires your response, and it begins with something simple yet powerful. A declaration of faith. Right now, say it out loud or in writing, I receive this gift from the divine. That sentence may seem small, but in the spirit realm, it is a sword. It is a legal signature. It is a seal of access. It says to heaven, I'm ready. It says to darkness, you have no more claim. When you declare it, doors begin to shift, blockages begin to fall, clarity returns, peace floods in. But you must do it now, not tomorrow, not later. This moment is alive with promise, but it is also perishable. If you delay, the window narrows. Many have seen moments like this come and go. They doubted, they hesitated, they scrolled past, and then they wondered why nothing changed. Chosen one, you will not be one of them. You've come too far. You've suffered too long. You've prayed too honestly. This is your response moment. This is your faith moment. Write it, speak it, seal it in your spirit. I receive this gift from the divine. What begins now is not inspiration, it's transformation. Chosen one, the shift has already begun even if you don't fully see it yet. The signs are not coming, they're already here. In the moments you felt a sudden stillness, in the strange pull to read this message, in the sensation rising in your chest as you continue reading. That's not your imagination, that's confirmation. The realm of spirit has already responded. The alignment has started. The door has already begun to open. You are not waiting for a move, you are in it. Right now, something holy is unfolding in your atmosphere. The shift is not just spiritual, it's personal. It will touch your material state, your relationships, your peace of mind, and your direction. This is not just an idea you're considering. This is a divine reality you're stepping into. And even now, the adversary is trying to pull you away from it, trying to cloud your judgment, distract your thoughts, and sow hesitation. But you must stay locked in. You must remain in position. Because what's happening around you is being shaped by what you choose in this exact moment. Chosen one, this is not a generic message. This is a decree. Something specific has been written over your life, and the countdown has already begun. Heaven has marked this moment for you, and if you can feel the urgency, it's because the timeline in the spirit has reached a turning point. The longer you wait to believe, the more you risk letting this moment slip into memory instead of a miracle. This isn't just a feel-good moment, it's an entry point into something irreversible. The heavens have released a flow. Grace is moving toward you with power, but there is one thing required: action based on belief. This is the time to say yes with your whole spirit. This is the time to break the agreement with doubt and delay. There is no safety in maybe. There is no breakthrough in later. Only those who step forward now will walk into what is being opened. Heaven has already spoken. The spiritual gate has already moved. The question is, will you move with it? Chosen one, do not underestimate what you speak in this moment. Your words carry weight in the spirit realm. What you declare now will either open or delay the next chapter of your destiny. This is not a time for silence. This is not a time for second-guessing. This is a time for declaration. Your breakthrough has already been written, but it must be activated by faith. And faith speaks. Faith moves. Faith says yes. Right now, heaven is waiting for your agreement. Not your performance, not your perfection, your agreement. You may feel unqualified, overwhelmed, or even unworthy, but none of that disqualifies you from what God has already decided to give. What disqualifies you is passivity. The spirit realm doesn't respond to hesitation. It responds to bold, present-tense faith. That's why the command is simple, but serious. Write it, say it, seal it. Declare right now, with every part of your being, I receive this gift from the divine. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you understand everything. The enemy wants you overthinking, analyzing, and wonder if this is real. He wants you trapped in the mental loop that keeps you from ever acting. But God wants you free. And freedom begins with this act of agreement. When you speak those words, something ancient shifts. Old chains break. Generational delays dissolve. Unseen walls fall down. Your declaration is not just symbolic, it is spiritual warfare. Chosen one, your willingness to speak now is your way of saying, I trust God more than I trust fear. I believe in this word more than I believe in the lies I've carried. Every second you delay, the enemy whispers doubt. But when you speak, the silence breaks, the resistance weakens. Your spirit steps into alignment. You are not just saying words, you are giving heaven permission to move fully in your life. So don't hesitate, don't hold back, declare it boldly, speak it again, write it again. Let the unseen world hear the voice of someone who believes. I receive this gift from the divine. Say it until the atmosphere shifts. Say it until your heart believes it. Say it until you feel the chains lift. Chosen one, the moment you agreed, when you said yes, when you declared, I receive something that was once sealed in the spirit realm began to open. What was locked for years has started to shift. A gate that no amount of effort, logic, or striving could move is now responding to your faith. You didn't force it open. Your obedience unlocked it. And because of that, divine movement has been set in motion. In The Weight of Glory, C.S. Lewis wrote, there are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. This truth underscores your sacred identity in this moment of breakthrough. You are not a mere mortal struggling against random delays. You are a chosen one, marked for a divine assignment that the enemy fears. Lewis's words remind you that your declaration, I receive this gift from the divine, carries eternal weight, unlocking gates that align your life with heaven's purpose. Listen closely. The opportunity you thought was gone is returning. The person whose heart was hardened is softening. The path that seemed blocked is clearing. A breakthrough you prayed for in silence is now being reactivated by heaven's decree. But don't mistake this for emotion. This is fulfillment. This is a spiritual cause and effect. Your faith has triggered a chain reaction in realms you cannot see. Chosen one, what's opening for you isn't small. It's not a consolation prize. This is what you were waiting for and preparing you for. This is what the enemy tried to talk you out of. This is what your wilderness has led up to. You are not just being relieved, you are being released. You are stepping into something you didn't earn by effort but by surrender. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Your situation is being touched by hands you cannot see. Peace is returning to your dwelling. A spiritual verdict has been released over your life. Access granted. But understand this, what is opening must be entered. You cannot stand at the threshold and doubt. You must walk through. You must carry yourself like someone who knows that God has gone ahead. What's ahead of you is bigger than what's behind. The pain, the delay, the confusion, they were all part of the setup. But they are not your future. They were the fire. Now comes the gold. And no voice of darkness can shut what heaven has opened. Chosen one. Now that the gates have opened, the battle will shift, and it will shift to your mind. The enemy couldn't stop the opening, so now he'll try to stop you from walking through it. He will aim at your thoughts, your emotions, and your clarity. He knows that if he can stir confusion, anxiety, fear, or shame, he can slow you down even after heaven has already moved. This is the hour when you must guard your mind like a fortress. Not everything that enters your thoughts belongs to you. Not every voice that speaks inside you is the truth. Many of them are intruders. Whispers sent to shake your foundation, to question your worth, to replay past failures, to make you feel undeserving of what you've just received. But hear this clearly. If God has spoken over you, no thought has the right to override that. You were never meant to live in inner chaos. You are not called to carry torment in your thoughts. The peace of God is not a future promise, it's your current portion. You must stop tolerating thoughts that war against what God has already confirmed. When fear rises, confront it with truth. When heaviness tries to settle in, speak to it. When doubt creeps in quietly, don't entertain it, cast it out. The authority you've been given isn't just external, it begins in your mind. If this message has pierced your spirit, if you feel the urgency of this divine warning and the power of this breakthrough, don't remain silent. Declare your faith and claim this moment of divine release by commenting below. I receive this gift from the divine. I stand ready for my breakthrough. Let this be your act of agreement, your bold step into spiritual alignment. Share this message with others who need to hear it, for there are more chosen ones waiting to awaken to their victory. Write it now, chosen one, and let heaven see your heart. The gates are open, and your declaration will seal this sacred shift. Chosen one, the enemy fears your clarity, because a focused spirit is a dangerous one. When you become still inside, when you silence the swirl of lies, you begin to hear the instructions of heaven again. And in this season, you must be led not by emotion but by divine insight. Don't let old trauma dictate your decisions. Don't let past rejections write your future. You've been given new eyes, but you must choose to see with them. This is the battlefield now, not your bank account, not your relationships, not your body, your mind. Keep it aligned. Keep it sacred. Keep it surrendered. Let every thought that rises pass through the filter of truth, and when it doesn't match what God says about you, reject it. Your inner world must remain clear, because that's where the next instructions will come. Chosen one, God is not just trying to fix your circumstances, He's transforming your perspective. He's not only opening doors around you, He's renewing the way you think, because the old way of thinking cannot carry the weight of the new season. If you try to walk into divine abundance with a mindset shaped by survival, you'll sabotage what was meant to bless you. That's why God is dealing with your mind, not to control you, but to liberate you. There are thought patterns you've carried for years, quiet, subtle beliefs like, I have to earn everything, or I'm always behind, or if it's too good, it won't last. Those thoughts didn't come from God. They came from wounds. They came from weariness. They came from years of pushing through while feeling unseen. But now, the Spirit is rewriting the script. He's removing the inner narratives that made you shrink, that made you hide, that made you second-guess what He called you to carry. Chosen one, you're not crazy for feeling the urge to do things differently. You're not disobedient for wanting to step off the path others expect. That pull you feel the call to rest, to trust, to release controlees, God leading you into a new kind of strength. It's not about proving yourself anymore. It's about partnering with heaven. That means you'll be guided by peace, not pressure, by clarity, not compulsion. You'll start to make decisions that feel upside down to the world, but perfectly aligned in your spirit. That's because God is shifting your compass from logic to obedience. You may be prompted to bless someone who never gave back, to leave what looked stable, to forgive what hurt you, to walk away from what's familiar but no longer fruitful. These will not always make sense to your natural mind, but they are divine instructions meant to unlock joy, favor, and alignment. You're being trained to move by revelation, not routine, by trust, not trauma. Chosen one, let your thinking be reshaped. Let God question your assumptions. Let Him pull out every belief that was built on fear instead of faith. You don't need to understand it all, you just need to yield. And as you do, your mind will become clear, steady, and aligned with His truth. That clarity will become your compass in the days ahead, sudden stillness in your spirit, a pull toward something new without knowing why, a strange urge to leave one place and walk toward another, a phrase that wouldn't leave your mind, a song that stirred something deeper than emotion. These weren't coincidences. These were divine markers. Heaven has been guiding you, even when you didn't realize it. God has been speaking not only through loud miracles, but through whisper-stiny moments that bypassed logic and spoke directly to your spirit. You may have dismissed them, thinking they were fleeting thoughts or background feelings, but now you know they were signals, they were preparations. The unfamiliar longings, the quiet discomfort with what once felt normal, the increasing restlessness inside of you, they've all been signs that you've outgrown the old season. The time of stretching wasn't punishment. It was positioning. Chosen one. You've been feeling disconnected from environments that no longer carry your name. You've been losing interest in conversations, habits, even people who once seemed essential. That's not rebellion. That's transition. God is detaching you from places that can't sustain what He's birthing in you, and the more you try to hold on to what He's trying to release, the heavier it will feel. He's not stripping you, He's refining you. You're being prepared for something weighty, something holy. And the first sign is always an internal shift. Before the door opens around you, God awakens something within you. That awakening is already happening. You're not who you were, even if no one around you sees it yet. You've changed. You're being called into new territory, and heaven is leaving breadcrumbs, subtle but sure, to confirm the path ahead. So pay attention. Don't dismiss the small signs. Don't ignore the holy tension. God doesn't always shout. Sometimes He leads through longing, through a holy discomfort that refuses to let you settle. Trust that feeling. It's the Spirit guiding you. Follow it, because what He's drawing you toward is greater than anything you're leaving behind. Chosen one, it's time to release the shame. It's time to stop questioning whether you deserve what's coming. You don't have to earn this season. You only have to receive it. God is not blessing a future version of you who has it all together. He's blessing the version of you that stood through the storm, stayed faithful in the dark, and kept trusting when silence was the only answer. You are not being rewarded for perfection. You are being trusted with purpose. What's coming to you isn't random. It's not luck. It's not an accident. It's the result of private obedience, silent endurance, and battles nobody else saw. You've sown in tears. Now you're stepping into a season of holy harvest. But here's the truth: blessing brings visibility, and visibility often brings judgment. Not everyone will understand what God is doing in your life. Some will question it, some will criticize it, some will try to attach your past to your present. But none of that can stop what God has already set in motion. Chosen one, do not shrink in this season. Do not explain away the goodness that's coming to you. You've carried too much to downplay your deliverance. God isn't just restoring what was taken, He's expanding what can be entrusted. He's making space in you to receive peace without guilt, provision without fear, joy without apology. This time, you don't have to sabotage it. This time, you don't have to second-guess it. You've been prepared for this. You've let go of plans others couldn't understand. You've forgiven people who never apologized. You've sacrificed what no one applauded. And you've stayed soft when life tried to harden you. That is why you are ready. That is why this blessing will not destroy you, will establish you. God has built resilience in you for this very moment. Your heart is clean, your hands are open, your posture is right, and heaven is responding. So walk boldly. Don't wait for permission to rejoice. Don't water down what God is pouring out. Stand in it. Own it. This is your season, not because of what you've done, but because of who you've become. What was once too heavy to carry is now the platform you stand on. You are not entering with fear, you are entering with authority. Chosen one, you've come so far. This is not the end, it's the final push before everything begins. You may feel tired, stretched thin, even uncertain, but that is often how transition feels right before the breakthrough becomes visible. What you're carrying is heavy because it's holy, and what you're birthing is real. The spiritual tension you feel isn't a sign that something is wrong, it's confirmation that something is being completed. You are not alone in this. Heaven surrounds you, angels are assigned to your steps. The Spirit of God has been walking beside you through every unspoken battle, through every private moment where you almost gave up, through every tear shed in silence. You were never unseen. You were never forgotten. You were hidden for protection, for preparation, for purpose. And now, you are being revealed. Chosen one. Don't be surprised if the pressure intensifies right before the promise breaks through. That's how spiritual birth works. When darkness senses that destiny is about to rise, it stirs chaos to distract you. You may feel hits coming from old wounds, from unexpected voices, from sudden doubts, but stay steady. Don't retreat. Don't rush. Don't compromise. You are not in danger. You are in labor. This is the final contraction before the unveiling. The enemy tried everything to exhaust you before this moment. He tried to isolate you. He tried to bury you in self-blame. He whispered that it would never happen, that it was too late, that you had missed your chance. But he was wrong. He was afraid of what this moment would unlock, and now he can't stop it. Heaven has overruled. And your yes has been louder than your fear. Chosen one, release the need to explain yourself. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to win anyone's approval. What's coming is not for validation, it's for assignment. Let your silence speak. Let your fruit reveal the truth. Let your peace be louder than the rumors. Those with spiritual eyes will understand, and those who don't were never meant to follow you here. You are standing on holy ground. Every step of grief, growth, waiting, and surrender has led here. So breathe deeply. Hold your posture, anchor your spirit. The spiritual realm is already rejoicing. Heaven is not wondering whether you'll make it. Heaven is celebrating that you did, you endured, you remained faithful, you trusted when nothing made sense. And now, the promise is unfolding. Not 1 second of your pain was wasted. Not one tear was forgotten. The final push is here, and glory is next. And now, chosen one, if these words have stirred something deep in your spirit, if you know this message was not random, but written for you, then don't just reflect on it. Respond, anchor it with prayer. Let heaven hear your voice. Seal this moment with your heart, because what you pray now will echo into what unfolds next. Father, I come before you with a heart wide open, trembling with reverence and overflowing with gratitude. I know you have called me by name. I know this moment was written before I was born. And now, I choose to respond with my whole being. I do not walk away. I step in. I step up. I say yes to your timing, yes to your process, yes to the release you've prepared. I break every agreement I've ever made with doubt, delay, fear, or self-rejection. I renounce every lie that told me I wasn't enough, wasn't ready, wasn't worthy. I align my mind with heaven. I surrender the old thoughts, the heavy yokes, the worn-out pattern sand. I welcome the renewing fire of your truth. Let your voice be louder than my fear. Let your presence quiet every storm inside me. God, I receive what you've prepared. I open my hands and my heart to the abundance you've assigned to my life, not just material, but spiritual, emotional, relational, divine. I declare that I am no longer surviving, I am rising. I declare that what was once closed is now open, that the gates of provision, peace, clarity, and inheritance are swinging wide at your word. Cover me, Lord. Go before me, speak louder than the noise of the world. When the pressure builds, remind me that this is labor, not loss. When opposition rises, remind me that I am not alone. I am chosen, covered, and armed with the promises of heaven. I silence the voices of fear. I silence the inner critic. I silence the lingering shame of past seasons. Let every part of my life now come under divine alignment. I speak blessings over my home, peace over my thoughts, and light over every path ahead. And now, Lord, I lift my voice in holy confidence, not in my strength, but in yours. I will not miss this moment. I will not waste this word. I will not go back. I move forward with boldness, clothed in purpose, wrapped in your favor. I receive the fullness of what you've declared, and I will walk it out faithfully, fearlessly, fully surrendered. In the name of the one who called me before I called on him, I say, Amen. Let it be. I am ready.